Put your children to bed.
Kids don't need to hear what's about to happen.
PODCRACK has returned.
HBK, the lady lover, the king of pleasure.
It's the most hated Ock, baby.
Oh, please say the baby.
You tuned in to PODCRACK.
8-Bit Paul,
AKA Five the Fresh.
PODCRACK in this bitch.
Yo, it's your boy Matt, the Mad Titan.
We the Bloods with attitude, and this is the party dude.
Barely.
Anybody else I talk to about this shit, they don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. And that's why PODCRACK must exist.
PODCRACK, real raw and unmotherfucking cut.
Welcome to PODCRACK. It is it's the one and only Pretty Tony, the Lord of Heartbreak. You know what I'm saying? It's the H to the B to the K. And let me say this. Hey, yo. Say goodbye to the bad guy. And as I pan around the room, you know what I'm saying? This is the first PODCRACK proper of the new year. You know what I'm saying? We've been away for a little while. You know what I'm saying? You got the little Batman review. You know what I mean? In 3 parts. Trios. However, you know what I'm saying? Let me do this the right way. I can't help but see a brother, K-Fabed brother. I can't help but see the one and only Ock baby, Ock Sampson. Ock, please say whether Razor Ramon's first name was Razor or whether Ramon is his name and he's just sharp as a razor.
This is an argument that's plagued me for years, sir.
Mm-hmm.
I always wondered, is Duke the Dumpster Josie? You know what I mean? Was he the dumpster or was he dumping the dumpster?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
The
Hulkster is doing the hulking.
Yeah.
Is Duke the dumpster? Is he dumping the dumpsters? You know what I'm saying?
Now, I'm not gonna lie to you. I saw a vignette of him sleeping in a dumpster one time. You know what I'm saying? I thought he was a trash man, but he must be he might be an aspiring Oscar the Grouch protege. You understand what I'm saying?
Was he homeless or did he have a job? That's what we trying to figure out, man. Ain't that what we all trying to figure out these days?
That's what we trying to figure out.
The rent too goddamn high. Gas prices too goddamn high.
This is what we know to be true. To be true, brother.
And that's how wrestling reflects. You feel me? Because Razor is the sharpness with which you look through life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Wow.
And when you Ramon,
Uh-huh.
what is the Ramones? You gotta break down the word.
Come on. Now. Yeah.
Ruh.
Yeah.
That's the sound that the lion makes, a roar.
Yeah.
But when the lion is weary, right? What does he do? Moans.
Come on now. It's the God's hour, B. Teach him the math. Teach him the math, God.
So what I'm trying to say, King, is that when the lion is weary, he sleeps tonight. A weem away.
Okay.
A weem away.
All right.
Right?
Yeah.
We're in the jungle, the mighty jungle, where the lion sleeps.
Right.
That's where the white man came and brought us out the jungle.
Yeah.
And now he trying to act like we just regular cats.
Yeah.
Because what does he have us do, King? What does he have us do? Save our lion's mane.
Come on now. Come on now. Are you speaking the knowledge of the 7th letter of the 7th seal, bro?
All the above, bro.
Okay.
You gotta overstand.
Okay. That's word to your old earth, bro. You understand what I'm saying? You can't get that kind of teaching nowhere else. You understand what I'm saying?
So profound. So profound.
So profound. You know what I'm saying? And also, you might have heard her voice already. It's a friend of the show. You can catch her next Friday, right? Well, you know what I'm saying? It depends on when you hear this, but you're gonna hear it in a timely fashion. You know what I'm saying? You can catch her next Friday, right? Now that's April the 9th, right? In ATL, Georgia. What do we do for you? Bulldogs, like some Georgetown, Hoyas, all right?
Fuck that.
Right? In the play, Intimate Garments, and she's playing Miss Dix. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm gonna tell you, Marita. Now this is a family show, All right, this sounds like a burlesque show or a passion party going awry with words and lyrics. But welcome back.
Thank you. I appreciate that very wrong introduction, but it was a good one.
Hey, well, you know what I'm saying? That's what we do. We aim to please and we miss often. You understand what I'm saying?
That's fine. You know what I'm saying?
That's what we do here at PODCRACK. You know what I'm saying? They say the road
you overpromise and underperform. That's how
always ask all my girlfriends. Okay, ask them.
They know it's
that's
true.
What they'll tell you. That's what they'll tell you.
They will, folks.
Absolutely. So listen. I was prepared. All right, let me talk to y'all real quick. I was prepared to do a rundown, a recap, if you will, of award season. You know what I'm saying? You got the Grammys coming up. You know what I'm saying? You had the Golden Globes at some undisclosed time in history. I don't know. I don't watch it. You know what I'm saying? You had the SAG Awards, I suppose. You had the BAFTAs, right? That's what they say. It's in print. You know what I'm saying? However, here I was ready to heap accolades upon the brother Willard Smith Jr., right? Because I loved his performance in the science fiction drama King Richard, where a inner city black man, slurred speech black man from Compton, right? Conned white people out of money, right? To give his children a better life. You know what I'm saying? And talk to them recklessly in the process. I ain't never seen that in my life, but you know what I said? Hey, if Luke Skywalker can become a Jedi, then I can believe that also. Understand what I'm saying? But some would say that fateful night, that Will Smith got in the company of the elite, right? In the company of the Forrest Whitakers with his crooked eye, in the company of the Sidney Poitiers, right? In the company of the Denzel Washingtons. They say it was marred. What was it marred by? What happened? Maybe I'm oblivious to this. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I've been under a rock for a week. Tell them what happened, man.
It's what happened to me. It looked like they said, niggas, you don't want to watch our show? How about you want to see more niggas on the screen? Huh? That's what you protested about? Ain't enough niggas at the Oscars? Well, you gonna get what you want, because nigga here now. You know what I'm saying? That's what happened. Niggas showed up to the Oscars and showed out in only such a way that a nigga can. We all know what happened here, brother. We all know what happened here at these Oscars, nigga. Huh? I couldn't turn the TV to no channel. I couldn't listen to no podcast without them talking about niggas niggering it up. UFC was talking about it.
Yeah.
Fucking wrestling was talking about it.
Yeah.
Motherfucking the Young Turks were talking about it.
Yeah.
Everybody had an opinion. Everybody had to open up with an opinion. And here's the thing that I saw, brother. They call it the slap heard around the world.
That's what they call it.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what they're saying.
That's what they're saying. But what I call it is, motherfucking the illusion. He casted a spell with that slap, nigga. Because it seemed like every motherfucker is looking at that slap and seeing exactly what they want to see in it. He was protecting black. What was a Rorschach test, brother? It was a Rorschach test. It was more so that damn that was probably more of a Rorschach test, but it was that damn that shit used to be in the 90s and the 80s, that little optical illusion shit.
Yes, nigga. Can you see it? Can you see the 3D? You know what I'm saying?
The more you stare at it, the more something changes and shit.
Yes.
And you just sitting there staring at it for days, and y'all just looking at the same damn thing over and over.
That book was a motherfucker. Shout out to the Scholastic Book Fair. Shout out to them.
Shout out to the niggas who didn't have the money to buy that and just had to read it. For the 15 minutes.
Shout out to the
the
people that didn't tell me to move along when I just
go back to class, man. You don't even know how to read. Fuck you doing over here? Nigga?
They're really the true heroes, though, because you know you had to move along. 5 minutes is
Unsung.
what you got.
Unsung, man. I stood there the whole time looking at that book, knowing I
Nigga gave
wasn't
us
gonna buy
15 minutes in the middle of class for nothing. Nigga didn't bring not a dollar.
it.
Not a dollar, nigga, to browse. Nigga,
First of
nigga
all,
he's a Windows shopper.
First of all, fuck them for bringing all them high priced books to the school. You know what I'm saying? That's number one. You know what I mean? And on top of that, you know what I mean? There was a time the nigga was about to buy a Babysitter's Club book because it came with a gold chain. That was gonna happen. I had to talk myself out of it though.
Wow. I never knew.
Yeah, that's exclusive content. That's one time for you.
Shout outs to the Animorphs, nigga. Fuck all that. That's what I bought.
Nigga. The Animorphs, nigga. What you know about it, nigga?
Shout out to my mom saying, like, okay, I'll get you this book, but you gotta read this book. And it was a book about a young black kid doing young blackness, and I didn't give a fuck. I want to see this nigga turn into an ant, nigga, almost get stepped on. What will happen? I was enamored, nigga. I don't want to read about this nigga over here.
Niggas went in there buying all types of Goosebumps and fucking wrestling picture books and all that. You know what I mean? Nigga, I was common out there, nigga. You know what I'm saying? I was a mainstay, nigga. Oh my God.
Yeah. So when you looked at those slap, you either saw the book fair, nigga. Yeah. Or you saw whatever your political leaning was. You saw whatever your favorite social issue was. You know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah. If you believe that the black woman is the most unprotected woman, you stood up and said, see, that's what I'm talking about. Will Smith didn't slap her for Jada Pinkett. He slapped her for himself. He has to act like he's protecting Jada Pinkett, like she's not strong enough to protect herself. Then you had the men ain't shit women who was like, see, that's how you protect your woman that get their man shot every other day of the week and shit.
Graveyard full of niggas, man, just for no reason.
Yep. Right. Then you had the comedian saying, see, we can't even do comedy anymore. You see this shit? Then you had motherfucking niggas talking about some this was planned, this was fake. Yeah. It was a work. I thought it was fake too. I ain't gonna lie. Like the mechanics of his slap looked like he wasn't trying to hit him hard. But then I slowed it down. I did. Yeah. You know what I mean? I went that far. Yeah. I screen recorded it and then I went slow. And you actually do see his fingertips graze his face and shit. Nigga. You would think in this modern age they would have 17 angles of the slap, but now they only had the one.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was a cultural moment. Absolutely. It was a cultural moment.
Oh, for sure.
It showed us where we at as a country. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Niggas stop listening to the war in Ukraine for a minute and just start talking about the slap, my nigga. Shout out to them niggas, man. You know what I'm saying? Continue sending us videos of y'all walking across the street calmly as bombs are dropping.
Yeah. Shout out to all the old topics that used to dominate my Facebook. Shout out to the niggas currently dying of COVID right now. Shit,
all that, nigga. all
that no one cares about anymore.
Because you gotta talk about the slap, nigga.
So, nigga,
you died of leprosy, nigga? Disease? Yeah, what the hell, nigga? Nigga, you caught polio, nigga? What the fuck?
Oh, shit. They about to bury this nigga in some FUBU. Oh, out of town last nigga. Last season disease having ass nigga.
Nigga, we off that, nigga. Tim's and button-ups, nigga, we off that. Yeah, man, listen. I'll be honest with you, man. I too mulled over the footage. And I ain't gonna lie to you. At first, I just had the footage, right? Mm-hmm. And so all I was like was, that's not real. And then I analyzed it a little deeper, right? Because I said, ain't no way in this life or the next that a grown man is going to walk up to another grown man and slap him in the face and then turn his back and put his hand in his pocket and walk off smooth. I said, that don't happen. Not in 2022. I said, I done seen niggas get shot for less. You know what I'm saying? I done seen bums fight on World Star for less. You know what I'm saying?
Facts. Yes.
And then
Sean, must I remind you of Sting, nigga. That nigga used to come in the ring and give the NWO the bat, turn his back, nigga. Real niggas do real things.
He used to drop down out the ceiling, nigga.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
It's
back
your motherfucking
everybody,
word,
nigga. Scott Norton laying on the ground, nigga. That's how you knew it was a work, nigga. Shout out Scott Norton, nigga, friend of the show.
Friend of the show.
Chris, I was in the golfer talking, nigga. Anyway, too inside. Anyways, but upon further analyzation, you see Chris Rock cock back and think about it. Utter professional. Shout out to that man. But then they released the audio, the unheard audio in the 5-second delay, nigga, in the 2-minute delay, whatever. Thanks a lot, Janet Jackson, with your titties. Anyways, so then I heard the audio. Then I heard Will Smith, the man that don't got a cuss in his raps to sell records. I heard him say, "Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth." And then I said, "Oh, wait a second. He's showing out now. This might be real. This might be real." Then he repeated it again.
Dude, it was a joke about G.I. Jane.
G.I. Jane, the 1997 movie starring Demi Moore, that women have been getting clowned on for years for having bald heads. That's the only joke we got. Right?
That's the only one.
That's the only one, nigga. I knew people that had to look up G.I. Jane, my nigga, because they didn't know it was that dated of a reference. And then
shout out to the nigga who made the meme that said the joke was deeper. Demi Moore also cheated on her husband with a younger man. That's y'all got to think deeper than to tell y'all don't be thinking.
Oh my God, nigga, a Rorschach test indeed. And then after he slaps a nigga, right? All right, because it's an alternate universe where even though he slapped the grown man in the face and walked off smooth, he could have had a little cool left on him. He could have had just a pinch of cool left on him. Then he broke into tears uncontrollably, nigga, and had to be consoled by Tyler Perry, nigga. But Tyler Perry is the OG consoling you, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? Then all the cool is gone, my nigga. You know what I mean? A nigga clowned you and you crying, nigga. You slapped the nigga and you balling, nigga. Then I lost all respect for that man. Take it away.
That nigga walked off like the character from Wild Wild West, nigga.
Jim West?
Walked back up.
Don't want none of it.
Walked up to the podium and started acting like the nigga from Pursuit of Happiness and shit, just crying everything. I couldn't even watch that speech, nigga. I protected my family. Like a character that I played in a movie. Fuck out of here, Will Smith.
Yo,
so, you know what? Marita, I prefer ladies first. Ooh, ladies first.
Hey,
ladies first.
Hey.
Ladies first. Who the fuck made up that shit?
Hey.
So polite, so respectful of you. Thank you.
Madam, what are your feelings? Don't give us your initial reaction and then give us how you're feeling about it now.
Okay, so I will say this. I knew nothing of the slap. I got a video from yours truly, Sean Edwards.
Yes. That boy's a gossip.
I was
goddamn gossip girl, boy. Just a chatty patty, boy. I wouldn't think about no goddamn slap. This nigga slapped me in the face with the link, nigga. What the fuck?
I is who I is, nigga. Hot girl summer coming soon, nigga.
Wow. Okay. No, but got the video, saw the video, was like, that's interesting. Really thought nothing else of it. Until I got on social media, of course, And I was like, oh, like this was really real. And I think this is probably gonna sound crazy, but like initially I was like, dang, it would be the year where the Oscars get the first Black producer. I'm like, this would be that year where all hell break out with a Black man in charge, but it's fine. And then of course, as the internet does, like all the other things that they, it's like, oh, she has alopecia. And this was like, this was a low blow. And then like Will was laughing, but then he wasn't when he saw Jada was upset. And then all the things. I initially was like, man, that's unfortunate, but then I really was also too like, but I don't really think this gonna do nothing. Like, it didn't change how I saw Will. It didn't change how I saw Chris. I'm like, he's still gonna be paid. Like, everybody's still gonna be paid. So I knew like, okay, we're gonna be talking about this for about 3 days and then we need to move along, right? Let's just move to the next topic. And I still feel that way. I feel like people are still dragging it on, but to be honest, I'm like, I'm talked out at this point. So yeah, that was my initial thought.
And now you're topped out. And here comes Sean again, like the gossiping girl that he is.
Exactly, right?
Bringing you onto a podcast to talk some more about it. My initial thoughts as I was in it, it's the work camp. Yeah, like right. The slap looked fake. But then I too saw the extra audio and I was like, wait a minute now. I know 2 things about Will Smith. One, he is bisexual and in an open marriage.
Wow.
That's technically 2 things, but I'll allow it. I'll let you finish, my nigga. I'll let you go. I'm not gonna hold you.
2, that man does not curse in front of live studio audience, right? He knows how to keep a goddamn character going for the you know what I mean?
He's a nice guy. All my Will Smith heads, they got that one. They understood that reference. Yeah.
He Big Willie Styles. He don't do no cursing. All right. Nah, he might say a damn. He might say a hell.
Mike Lowry curse, but Will Smith don't.
See? That's and people separate them characters.
Yeah.
You understand? He was cursing as Will Smith. And I, you know what I mean? I was like, wait a minute. Wait a goddamn minute here, Frank. There was nobody named Frank around, but that's what I said. And that's when I said, well, maybe there's something to this. So then my next reaction was, damn, he slapped the shit out that nigga. You know what I'm saying? Then my third reaction was, Chris Rock, you ain't gonna do nothing, Chris Rock. You ain't got no joke. You ain't gonna at least pinch the motherfucker, like do something, nigga. Push him. Something. You know what I mean? I said, damn, you really was a little bitch ass nigga your whole life, huh? That's why
everybody hates Chris.
Nigga got bullied all throughout middle school and high school, quit school because he was tired of getting bullied and went and did comedy. And all these years later, getting the shit slapped out of you still. I believe it was the great orator Jay-Z that once said, you could try to change, but that's just the top layer. Player, you was who you was before you got here. You know what I mean?
That's what he said.
That's what he said. And Chris Rock. Some people respect it. I guess in some form or fashion, you can respect that he was the mature one. I'm just saying where I'm from.
Yeah.
He got holed out. You know what I'm saying? Here's the thing, though. I never saw him as a tough guy anyway. So just like Marita, it didn't change his joke's still just as funny now that he got slapped. And how I feel about it is I want to be done with it, but every time I turn on my Facebook, I see another interesting take. I'm the type of person I like to see how people think. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No matter how stupid it is.
Yeah.
So I seen a take that said Will Smith is sexist for protecting his wife. That convoluted ass logic is that's delicious to me, my nigga. Like I eat that with I don't need no seasoning on that motherfucker.
With a nice Chianti, nigga.
Yeah,
Some fava beans.
Yeah, some fava beans. I don't need no seasoning, nothing on that motherfucker. I eat that motherfucker just fresh. You feel me? That's it. That nigga said that. No, that old lady said Will Smith is clearly sexist. I said, oh shit. And then I saw the take where they was like, Jada Pinkett be controlling this nigga's mind, and he's trapped in an abusive relationship. You know what I'm saying? Then I seen the take where they say, "Oh, what about the mental health?" I'm so tired of hearing about mental health. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
that's a buzzword at this point, my nigga.
My nigga, you trip and fall, and niggas be like, "What about his mental health? He probably was going through something that day, and that's why he didn't see that big ass rock in front of him when he tripped." You never know someone's mental health. You never know.
I'm gonna tell you. I saw something a little closer to the house, nigga, to home base.
What you saw, my nigga?
I saw a co-host of this show by the name of brother Paul 5X that said, does he raise kids with Chris Rock? To which I replied, nigga, you seen them kids. Ain't nobody raised them goddamn kids.
Them kids was raised by fucking colorful lights and glitter, nigga.
Why is that a very accurate description, though? Like, the fact that I understood exactly what you meant, like, that is tragic. I don't know.
Them kids did whatever. What's the dinner tonight, Mom? Whatever you feel like. You over there eating arts and crafts and shit for dinner. And shit.
Lego blocks and shit, nigga.
At 15, nigga, just over there. Yeah, I live by myself. Sometimes I eat these Lego blocks, you know what I mean? Free your mind.
Free your mind, nigga. The rest will follow, nigga. and then, but he came back. You know what I'm saying? My gracious co-host, brother Paul 5X, 8-Bit Paul. Go ahead and check him out, nigga. New intro out. It's fire.
That was a family show. Something about these family niggas be violent.
Yeah, they be in fight back mode. They gotta go. Then he said, well, does he have to go home to Chris Rock? To which I said, nigga, he ain't going home to Jada Pinkett Smith, nigga. Jada Pinkett gonna beat him home, change it to her motherfucking do-rag, and hit the streets and find some of that young meat, because that's what she do. So here's my thing, man. Yes, when I saw this shit, I said, look, he was laughing at first, nigga. You cannot discount that. That nigga found it funny.
It said it was a nervous laugh, son.
I don't know. I ain't see that, my nigga. That was a gut laugh, my nigga. That was a guttural. You know what I'm saying?
He's a G.I.J. Oh, you crazy. Oh.
You already know Will a corny nigga, dog. A corny joke to get that nigga going. Right?
He said G.I.J. Oh, because he bald headed. Oh.
You know what I'm saying? That's Fresh Prince. Nigga. He went in the kitchen and crawled back on it and dragged himself back through the house on his knees and shit. Nigga thought that was hilarious, nigga. And then, you know what I'm saying? Jada put the battery in this nigga back. Right? All right, he went and did what he did. But then you right, my nigga. Listen, I'm going to tell you. Any woman that thinks that was chivalrous, block me. You understand what I'm saying? Lose my number, baby. You understand what I'm saying? I saw the niggas that I know to be less than genuine and disingenuous and crazy, my nigga. I saw two people that stuck out, my nigga. I saw Tyrese Gibson write a fucking dissertation. It's so great to see the hero of my hero talk about his hero and a hero sandwich. My nigga, yeah. That nigga's crazy, my nigga. Whenever he's on your side, you have to step back and take a look.
You have to remove yourself.
Yeah.
Because at that point, it's the wrong person siding with you.
Yeah. Then I saw the game write 3.5 paragraphs, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? Write a preamble. What they don't want to tell you is that the black man protect. Shut up. I don't want to hear that shit, man. So you're right, my nigga. It brought out the nut balls, my nigga. It brought out the goofballs. Niggas was fully dipped in clown juice that day. You know what I mean?
if you're overly defending either person in this, they're all grown people.
Yeah.
Chris Rock chose to stand there and get his face slapped as this nigga clearly cocked back and slapped his face. Mm-hmm. He chose not to do anything.
Yeah.
He doesn't need you to come caping for him. Will Smith. This nigga wasn't in no great position of threat upon himself. It's not like he stood up to 5 muggers and beat them up for Jada Pinkett. Don't act like he fucking defended Jada Pinkett from harm. Jada Pinkett was going to be all right. I'm going to tell you that right now. She was going to be all right. So everybody who's greatly defending either one of these people is, or even more so, like defending Jada Pinkett. There's nobody that needs you to go online and write paragraphs to defend them. Nobody. That's all I'm saying.
Not a single person.
Not one of them. Not a person involved. Not a person involved. So let's get in. So I want to get into that portion of it real quick because I want to hear Marita's stance. How do you feel about when we were growing up? If you lost your hair, you was just a bald head. You was a bald headed lie, Tommy. That's what you were. You know what I'm saying? You was Eddie Murphy. You was Headford and Son and shit. You was all that, right? You was head and shoulders, knees and toes. You was all that. And now in 2022, you are battling alopecia. You are battling a disease. How do you feel, as from a woman's standpoint, as a Black woman at that, do you feel like she deserves more empathy than, let's say, because I didn't watch the whole show. They have this on their side because I damn sure didn't watch the whole show and I ain't seen no clips. But I heard niggas was sending out bald jokes to other people in the crowd, other men. Do you think, we all know there's a double standard.
Right.
Do you think in this particular case, we should empathize with her alopecia?
So I will say yes. I do think that we do have to have some sort of empathy because I will say, as a Black woman, like, and just, in our culture, it's sacred. Like, our hair is sacred. Like, for me, if I was to lose my hair, if I was to have hair loss, and to be very honest, like, because of heredity, like, my edges are very thin, and you already know, like, that's the running joke. You know what I'm saying? Like, in our culture, it's like, oh, she ain't got no edges. You know what I'm saying? So I'm very sensitive about that. You get it? So I feel like we should empathize a little bit more. I do believe that the joke was in poor taste, and I actually don't think it was that good of a joke. And so I do see her being upset. I get it. I understand. And I think, because she has shared, like, her journey, I think it's important to recognize that just like everybody else, she is human. She's having a human experience. And so for her, being a Black woman and having to deal with this particular medical condition, I think that she's been very transparent and very open about how hard it has been and how difficult and challenging it was to kind of part ways with her hair and become a little bit more secure in who she was as a woman without her hair, because there is a double standard, because so many people place so much on a woman and her ability to have long hair or curly hair or whatever type of hair is deemed beautiful. So I do think there is some empathy that can be offered to her. Now, in this particular situation, in terms of how it manifested for Will Smith, I believe it was an overreaction, but I do see and I can understand why she was upset or irritated or frustrated, because she rolled her eyes all the way around. Like, you could feel like she wasn't feeling it. And this is how I feel about the situation, because I've heard a lot of commentary on it, a lot of people's opinions. And the thing about it is that, like, although we may want to just paint this as like, this is the situation that happened this night, which is true, it's like, stuff be nuanced. Like, things are nuanced. And apparently she didn't take very kindly to what he said about her at the 2016 Oscars, right? When he was talking about the fact that didn't nobody care they wasn't there because they weren't invited, so it's just like, I feel like it just happened to be the culmination of probably some unresolved frustration that they had with him. But obviously the jab was at her bald head, which I've heard now that Chris Rock knew nothing about it. He didn't know that she, had alopecia. I don't know that would have mattered had he known that. I don't know how sensitive he is. But I get it. I definitely get it. And I do think that we can give some empathy or show some empathy to Jada. Because it's sensitive for her. Now, it may not be sensitive for anybody else. A man who is bald is probably not going to have the same, I guess the same love.
Empathy given to him?
Huh?
The same empathy given to him?
Probably not. I'm just gonna be honest. Is that right? No, it's not. But I feel like,
and it's so fun. That's what I mean by all this, or what Sean said earlier, how it's a Rorschach test, because it's what you see in it. Because when I said double standard, I think you took that to mean like women have to have the hair and men are okay not having the hair. But what actually I meant was it's a double standard that it's okay to clown bald men, but it's not okay to clown bald women. And it would seem to me and this is what I've always rested my hat on, because I'd say jokes. I'm a jokester. Yeah. People have accused me of being a bully once or twice in my life. And what I always say is, that's fine if you don't want to participate in the jokes and you don't want to be joked about. But then you can't sit there and profit off the laughter and the joy people have at others' expenses if you don't want to have to be a part of that, if you don't want to contribute. So it's kind of like, to me, like jokes are like insurance. We all pay into it, right? And then we all benefit from it. So when don't be laughing at other people getting jokes cracked on them, and then when it's your turn, all of a sudden you're sensitive, or this subject, don't broach that subject. Either it's okay to talk about everybody's bald head, or it's not okay to talk about anybody's bald head, with the exception of maybe like cancer. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. To me, alopecia is simply just, different forms of hair loss. Like, some people bald and get the fucking U shape in their hair and look like Sherman Hemsley, and some people get the patchy one looking like crisscross. But either way, it is something that somebody has to go through. It's a big change to their personal identity. As much as we say it's just hair, just as is, like, my hair isn't as romanticized as women's hair is, but my hair is very important to me as well. Like hair in the Black community in general is important. Men spend hours at the barbershop, sir.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this. I'm glad you said that, right? Because the connection between Black people and hair and their identity and their agency was expertly displayed in a documentary that I once watched that was produced and narrated by a young man named Chris Rock, and that documentary was called Good Hair. Right. So this is my question for both of y'all, and it's a kind of a two-pronged question. Number one, do we feel that Chris should have showed more respect, knowing what he realized and the realization that he came to in that at the culmination of that documentary? Do we feel like he should have had more respect for the hair, the hairstyling of a Black woman? And also, here's the other part of the question, and this is a little bit of a different question. Since he was going down the line and making jokes on everybody, is there, obviously we know there's worse jokes he could have made, but is that the tamest joke that he could have made about the Smiths?
Hell yeah. First of all, hell no to your first question. Hell yes to your second question. That had to be the most softest lob anybody's ever thrown at anybody. Yeah. Like, he literally might as well had went to the back and grabbed some fucking mittens and grabbed the microphone and then handled them with care, nigga. Like, this nigga gave them the tamest joke possible. And it wasn't based on hair loss. The joke was based on hairstyle.
Yes.
She had, at that moment in time, she had a low one fade. That's what she had. That's what she had.
On the barber chart, nigga.
Yeah.
Give me the one.
She had the Caesar. She had the Jay-Z in 98, my nigga. That's what she had.
The ball fade, nigga.
And here's what I was saying. I would have never known she was suffering from anything because she's chosen a very low hairstyle her entire career. Yeah. She's synonymous with having a low haircut. Her and Eve used to rock that shit.
Yeah.
She's had low hair since I've known her. I had no idea she had any issues, and I'm sure nobody else who doesn't pay attention to her, because this is something else I wanted to get into, the death of the fucking Hollywood star. Especially since we have such a renowned actor on the phone. I definitely actress, forgive me, a thespian, if you will. I wanted to get into the death of the movie star, but like, I don't care what she's doing. The only reason why I ever even pay attention to her is because she says things that are outrageous and they have drama, and that's the only time I pay attention.
At Will Smith's expense, some would say.
At Will Smith, at her family's expense. Didn't she say something crazy about her mother one time?
I would assume so, but I don't know for sure.
You can't even remember. That's how it was, something about kissing or something like that. Jim Jones had something recently where that happened, but she said something about her mother. I can't remember. But anyway, my point is this. The joke was about what she resembled with that hairstyle. She looked like G.I. Jane. You look like, or you're looking as, or something looking hairstyle. That is like the first joke you learn. You know what I'm saying? And as a comedian, he was tasked with going on stage and entertaining people by making light of them. And if you think you're too good for that, get your ass up and go in the back during that portion of the show and then come back. That's how, if you're too sensitive, if you're too good for that, that's what you need to be doing, in my opinion. If you're going to sit there, you're going to laugh, you're going to bask in your celebrated celebrity, then that's what comes with it. If you sit there at the red table talk and put your business out as a way to commodify your personal lives, as a way to like connect even more without having to work, just sit there and talk, it comes with scrutiny. If you talk about your personal issues out loud, people get to have an opinion. That's just what it is. You know what I mean? Like, there's Denzel Washington's wife. I've never seen her. I'm sure she's out there somewhere. I have no idea what she looks like. You know why? Because I only catch glimpses of her when he's around. He don't be at no red table talks. He don't be bringing her to places. Why? Because that's his personal life, and that's separate. Nobody knows what's going on in Denzel's house. Everybody can have alopecia in that motherfucker. Nobody's going to know.
John David, Paulette, everybody. Also, shout out to Denzel Washington for one of the greatest quotes ever. Right? That they give him a lot. They quote him a lot, but they don't never quote him with this. Nigga, if they see you for free, Monday through Friday, they will never pay to see you on Saturday.
Word.
That's a word.
And Prince practiced it till he died. Nigga wouldn't give an interview. He wouldn't do a meeting and shit. That nigga didn't even show up to the funeral and shit. He was like, nah, I'm busy that day. And yeah, that was a Prince sound. I don't want y'all thinking that was really me and shit. But yeah, so I don't think in that moment, you can't tell me Chris Rock was thinking like, oh, this is a black woman who lost hair. Let me make fun of that. That's not what was happening. And if you can't process that, you aren't a mature adult. If you wear your trauma so much on your sleeve that the mere mention of your hairstyle makes you have to feel violent, you shouldn't go outside. You need to go to therapy. You feel me? Like, and at the same time, I'm perfectly fine with violence as an answer. Mm-hmm. Like, I think if you feel you're justified, you go do what you gotta do, then just be willing to deal with the consequences. So everybody has to make that decision for themselves. We have laws, but that don't mean niggas got to follow the law. Okay. So we have laws in place. They need to be in place. They need to be enforced. However, I'm still going to speed. So I still reserve. This is where Paul was talking about. I reserve the right to whoop your ass. I reserve the right to slap shit out you. However, it's up to me as an adult to decide when I feel like it's worth the consequences. Will Smith decided this was worth the consequences. I think he was wrong. Okay. I think that's A-okay to say he was wrong.
Well, let me ask you this, right? As we begin to wind it on down, let me ask you this. I got 2 questions left for the both of y'all. Let me ask you this, and I'll say this. This is what I'll say before I ask this question. I think in hindsight, we can all say, it's safe to say, that the worst thing that has ever happened to the Smith family is their ability to find social media, right? But let me ask you this, right?
Not Will. It's the rest of the niggas that's embarrassing.
Nigga, ever since Will jumped out that plane, my nigga, it's been a downward spiral.
Will and Willow doing their thing.
They doing their thug thizzle. Nah, the son that nobody knows.
Will in their name is
he doing his motherfucking thing. Yes, yeah.
Who the first son?
Yeah, the first son.
Trey.
Everybody with Will in their name. He falls up under that. He's Willard Smith III, my nigga. He falls up under that. Willow Smith. They all good, my niggas. The rest of them niggas crazy. However, young Ak.
Yes, sir.
As a nigga who I have heard the audio proof of that punched the nigga in the face for tapping his car in traffic.
That's not first of all, allegedly. Second of all, it didn't happen exactly.
Wow.
You recorded the nigga's response. You hit hard, nigga. You hit hard. Anyways, etched into the memories of my mind, nigga. Do we feel that and I heard you hit on this a little bit earlier. Chris Rock's response, my nigga, is in as it will go down in history. Right response or wrong response?
To not hit him back?
Yeah.
Me personally, it's the wrong response.
Okay, but I'm saying, put you in Chris Rock's shoes. Not you as Ak, but you in Chris Rock's shoes.
So me as Chris Rock?
Yes.
So am I controlling Chris Rock like Meet Joe Black? Or
yes.
am I like...
Yes. My nigga, does it benefit you more to be wrestling up there on stage with Will Smith, or does it benefit you to step back and say...
He's not hurt at all by this.
Yeah.
He's not hurt at all by this. Let me tell you, like, okay, I hate to be the take man. The thing that's hurt by this is people who think their feelings actually matter.
Yeah.
People who think their individual feelings are as important as like the world. Like people who think being uncomfortable somehow gives you a right or somehow gives you the right away in certain places. And that Will Smith getting up and enacting that action and then him getting away with it scot-free with not even, and then with people online fiercely arguing that he protected a black woman and everybody should shut up. I seen somebody say, if you're okay with kids getting hit, you can't be the moral police here. Like they said, disciplining your child is equivalent to Will Smith walking 50 yards and slapping the shit out of Chris Rock on stage in front of the Oscars, in front of the world and shit. That's what they just said. So once you see that, that's in the zeitgeist now. Now, what happens if at comedy shows niggas just start, what you say, nigga? I ain't like that shit. We already have that. We already have people going on Twitter getting mad at comedians. What's stopping physical violence from happening? People need consequences. People need rules. There has to be guidelines. There has to be parameters. And if you break that, it better be for a damn good reason. And he didn't have a damn good reason. And people are caping for him. So I'm not saying that there's going to be some open season on comedians, but it already kind of has been, right? Like, we know this nigga's clearly joking. We know his intent is to joke. We know his intent is to entertain and not to offend. We know they're old friends. We know he likes them.
Yeah.
And low key, we know he's right.
Yeah.
He made that joke in 2016 and he was all correct.
Yeah.
Hollywood and actors think they're better than people. They get too full of themselves. And you got people like Jada Pinkett boycotting the Oscars, who hasn't been in a movie in 10 years, who her best role in the last decade has been on fucking Gotham. You know what I'm saying? So, and now using your star power to try to act like you're still a movie star, or still trying to act like you're one of the working actresses who may ever get an award. Like you haven't done it. You haven't put in any work. You're still living off the fame from the past couple of decades. Now that may be harsh, but what I'm saying is that's what his joke was getting at.
Yeah.
Like these people think that they can enact change in the real world by just being rich and famous and then caring about something in the slightest, to the point where you got the white bitch that steals jokes. What's her name?
Amy Schumer?
Yeah.
Amy Schumer. Thank you. Amy Schumer. Talking about we should have the president of the Ukraine simulcast into the Oscars. What? That was her idea. That's how important these people think they are, which transitions to my final point, and then I'm shut up and let her answer the question. These people, they're dying. Their star is dying. Why? Because we see them as regular people. And when you see them in that light, you see all the dumb shit they do, just like I see all the dumb shit that my friends do. And I've come out of this. When I was in high school, I used to be online wanting to know what all the rappers were doing. But around about college sometime, I was disillusioned with the celebrity. I didn't want to hear nothing about celebrity news. And all we did was start worshiping them. We created Kim Kardashian. And then we took the light off of people with actual talent and worshiping them for no reason. And now we worship people with no talent. And the light is fading in Hollywood. And they see it. That motherfucker's flickering. And they're like the fucking fly trying to find their way back to the fucking bug hangout and shit. And it's getting dark on them. You know what I'm saying? And they're doing shit and they're trying shit and they're changing all of Hollywood, and they're trying to get on the latest Twitter trend, not knowing that the latest Twitter trend is as well thought out as the last movie you put out, which was trash. You see what I'm saying? So these niggas' flimsy ass plots are reflective of the flimsy ass fucking politics and moral high ground that people take on Twitter and these fucking Facebook posts, and they all sound like idiots when you ever hold it up to any scrutiny. And so that's what I'm saying. Like, he got on that stage and he cried and did all that shit. All of that to me was just a microcosm of the bigger problem, my nigga. Your feelings do not matter at the end of the day. Like, because you felt someone said that the way you take something isn't more important than the way the person meant it. And that's to me the crux of all this. People think that the way they take words or the way they take actions is somehow more important than the person who said the thing meant it. He was trying to communicate something to you and you took it away. That doesn't mean that that's more important than the way he meant it. So Chris Rock was making a joke about her visage of having a low haircut. And he turned that into, you keep my wife's fucking name out the mouth. And she turned that into all the trauma that she brought in with her. And that's on them. He was like, no, you're wrong. You're wrong. And if Chris Rock was my people's, I'd have fucked Will Smith up on that stage. Like what Uncle Shannon, whatever his name is, Uncle Shannon Sharp said. Yeah. I'd have fucked Will Smith up. If it was me, like you could see it in his eyes on that wish a nigga would shit. If it was me, I'd have fucked your ass up. If it was me, I'd have punched Will Smith in the back of his neck when he turned around. But Chris Rock, he don't lose nothing. He don't lose nothing. In fact, what he gains is a whole lot of people want to hear what he got to say.
Right. Right.
And I think in about 6 months, a year from now, when he formulates the jokes, he gonna have a mighty motherfucking special about the shit.
Well, he's about to go on tour. He's about to start up his tour, and that's got to be in there. And I'm gonna throw it to Marita. I'm just gonna say this. I feel like overall, this was an abuse of friendship, right? Because I feel like, number one, if first your friendship in a relationship with your significant other, right? If my significant other, right? If my booski wooski, shout out my booski wooski, if we in a place and she don't like how somebody talking, right? I'm probably gonna, she gonna say, hey, I ain't feeling this. Let's get up and be out. You know what I mean? And if it's my friend, if it's somebody we're cordial with, making the, you know what I mean? And then I'm gonna pull him to the side. Hey man, yo man, blah, you know, blah, blah, blah. And I could see from Will walking up there, the look that Chris Rock had on him, it was non-threatening. Because why? Because this supposedly your man, you know what I'm saying? And Hollywood, we know Hollywood relationships is shallow, but still, you view that as your man. That's why he wasn't on no type of defensive, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? And if Ock slapped me, I don't know what the
You gonna be one slap motherfucker, boy. That's what it is.
But I'm probably gonna let you get it off though. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know what you slapped me for. Like, I'm not gonna wrestle with this nigga at that point. You know what I mean? Everybody, if you're my friend, you get one. Hey, my friends, don't take your free one, nigga. Don't do it. This is not open season on my face.
This is out here next time.
This is not open season on my jawline, nigga.
Live on PODCRACK, nigga.
But still, y'all get where I'm coming from. But I think this is just abuse of relationships and friendships. You know what I'm saying? That's my takeaway from it. Marita, I'm gonna throw it to you.
Yeah. So are we just doing basic takeaways, or you still want a response to your question about?
I want a response to my question, because then I got one more in closing.
You didn't ask a question, sir. You still want her to say?
I did ask a question.
If Chris Rock is if he should have did something.
What was the response? Was the response justified? What do you do in Chris Rock's shoes?
Yeah. So I think, given where he was, I think his response was professional. I think his response was mature. And to be quite honest, I think he was probably dazed and really didn't know what to do in that moment, because I think the moment happened so quickly. And as you guys have already brought up, this idea of like, this is my friend coming up to the stage. He's probably just going to do something really funny and then go walk back, to his seat. So I think that in that moment, like, he was really caught off guard, which you can tell by the way that he responded, what he said. And so I feel like he did the right thing. Now, what I will say is that I always tell people, if you lay your hands on somebody, you just need to be prepared for whatever consequences are coming after that. Because at that point, to me, I definitely feel like Chris would have been justified in punching back, slapping back, kicking, whatever he wanted to do, because that's a physical threat. And at that point, it's like, I have the right to defend myself. So whatever Chris would have done after that, I feel like would have been justified, because he just got slapped. You know what I'm saying? I do think, like Ox said, I do think he's going to be fine. His upcoming tour is already sold out. You know what I'm saying? Because people do want to hear from him, hear what he has to say. And I think that's why it's so unfortunate, because it just overshadowed everything that night was about, even for Will Smith himself. That was his first Oscar, and it was the largest Oscar, the biggest award of the night, honestly, outside of, best movie or best picture. So I think it's just unfortunate that it overshadowed everything else and everybody else's accomplishments that night. But I definitely think whatever Chris would have done after that, I feel like would have been justified.
Okay.
Here we go. The white man wins again. Y'all, ain't no niggas at the Oscars. We boycotting. Niggas wasn't watching that shit. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's paying attention. Now they the biggest show on earth. Now you got to watch next year, because you don't know what's going to happen.
You don't know what's going to happen,
right?
It's like the Golden Globes of 2012, boy. You don't know what's going to happen. Everybody drunk. Let me ask y'all this in closing. You know what I mean? Yeah. Fresh news, hot off the press. Will Smith has just announced that he's withdrawing from the Academy.
Right.
There's been a lot of talk of repercussions, and
what the fuck does that mean?
That means he won't be there next year.
Literally had the same question. I was like, so, I mean, what do you mean? You on a council or you on the board? Like, what does that mean?
I mean, but you know, for those that don't know, the Academy of Motion Pictures, Arts and Science, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. When you make a movie or you produce a movie or you act in a movie or you blah, 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 you then get voting rights. So then you vote on the said movies. You become part of the Academy. So basically, I guess he's just relinquishing his membership to the Academy of Motion Pictures, Arts and Sciences, etc. Ball pit from McDonald's, lint in the belly button, whatever, etc., etc., etc.
So he gets to act like he's the noble one.
Yes, yes.
I have made him, and I will punish myself. Fuck out of here, nigga. You should have let them kick you out.
So this is my final question for the both of y'all. If that's the only repercussion, are we rocking with that or are we not rocking with that? Or should there be harsher or should there be less severe?
Yeah.
I mean, this is a matter for the law. Like, as far as like the show, I mean, do they feel like banning him? Do they feel like, I think they get more out of Will Smith showing up than they get out of him not showing up. You feel me? Because next year niggas gonna have Will Smith slap Chris Rock jokes. So I think they get more out of him showing up and having their reactions. I think don't be a coward. Face the music, my nigga. Don't go hide now. You did what you did. Stay there, face the music. But you know, I think Chris Rock decided not to press charges, and that's the end of it. There shouldn't be any repercussions. Like, what repercussions? Like, what are we really going to do?
Well, I mean, they could have went as far as taking back.
They could have escorted the nigga out the fucking building really at least. If I was Chris Rock, I would feel like, damn.
Yeah.
I guess it's just slap Chris Rock day. Nigga, everybody. Do anybody else want to slap me, nigga? Hey, shit, what happened to you?
The Rock, what you got, nigga?
I guess we see who y'all value more. Y'all value this nigga that award this Oscar more than the nigga that's hosting this shit. That to me, that showed the Oscars how they feel about comedians and fucking. That's why fucking comedies never win nothing and shit. You know what I'm saying? They don't give a fuck about y'all. Y'all not real stars and shit. Y'all court jesters to these real niggas. So
right, we're here to entertain me and get struck across the face if you must, my nigga. Stricken across the face if you must. Nigga.
Hey, and Ricky. You heard what Ricky Gervais said, right? That N-word uttering white man said that he they won't let him host the Oscars because they want to write his shit. And he is like, the only reason why he did the other shows because he got to write it.
Right.
And like he was like, if I fucked around and got on that Oscar stage, nigga, if he slapped Chris Rock, that nigga would have had to shoot me and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
he didn't say all that, but basically, yeah, that's what he was saying.
Yeah, but I've seen what I thought I was gonna see, which is a rush of comedians come to the defense of Chris Rock.
And you know what? They're right.
They're right.
They're absolutely right. They're in the right.
Yeah. Because if that's you know what I'm saying? This everybody talks about getting banned off of a privatized website, such as Facebook, Instagram, as an attack on free speech. When actually a man sitting up there standing talking in public in a comedic fashion, and a nigga coming up to assault him, felonious assault, which is what it is, that's a true attack on free speech, my nigga. You know what I mean? So I don't know, man. I gotta side with the comedians on that, man. Like, if society is gonna become that feckless, that's a real issue.
So can I say something regarding that?
Yes.
So I follow a couple of comedians, and one in particular, one thing that he brought up as it relates to, like, you know, the future of comedy and how far it can go and what you can say and what you can't say, which I thought was interesting. He was saying that when it comes to those type of events at the level of the Oscars, that most times the jokes that people do tell, because it is an event where jokes are told by the presenters or the host, that it mostly is based on a person's career, that it's not normally based on their appearance, what they look like, and all of that. Maybe their clothing, maybe what they have on, but like their actual physical appearance, normally, at least according to him, they stay away from those types of jokes. So what I thought was very interesting was he said, of course, had we been at a roast, then he felt like that comment and many other comments would have been appropriate, for Chris Rock to make. And the people there would have been expecting that because that is the type of event that it is. But he himself, as a comedian, didn't necessarily expect that from Chris Rock, as it wasn't that type of event, that he thought that, yes, of course, jokes are being told, but like they're normally kept at a certain level. And so I think the nuance in that is just the fact that some people, not all people, of course, but some people had knowledge of Jada Pinkett suffering from alopecia and thought that the joke was a low blow and that it was in poor taste. And this particular comedian felt like it wasn't a good joke, but also two, that it was misplaced for the type of event that it is. However, they did mention that like Chris Rock is that type of comedian. So like, that's his thing, which I can understand that too. And I will say that I think as I was starting to listen to commentary about the event, it's like, yeah, I can get that, because I did think that the joke was in poor taste when it was told. But I thought it was very interesting, one comedian to another comedian, for him to say that that type of joke he would not have told, and he didn't expect Chris Rock to tell. But I do get your point, y'all's point, just about the idea that that event does call for some type of banter, right? Like they have to say something other than what's on the teleprompter. And I think Will Smith even spoke to that. And I wanted to say this earlier after what you said, Akir. And he spoke to the fact that, like, as a celebrity, as somebody who was very well known, like you have to be, I think what he said is like, you have to be able to be subjected to abuse and not respond or not retaliate, something to that effect, right? So I think, in that moment, he was very well aware that that was not the reaction that he should have had based on what was said. But I think to the point of just like, yes, like you're going to have to take that because you are a public figure. So everybody is going to have something to say about you. So.
The only thing I would push back on that is saying, listen, I've seen this nigga Ak roast niggas, you know what I'm saying, to the point that I was in tears. I've myself roasted niggas within an inch of their life, right? and there's times when niggas come in begging to be roasted, right?
Yeah.
And I think the better part of the last 2.5 years, Will Smith has given us all both of them have given us all of the ammunition in the world to drag them through the mud with all types of the greatest jokes. You know what I'm saying? Like they've given us so much material, and I feel like everybody in that front row. This is the first time the Oscars was outside in like 2 years. You know what I'm saying? And if you got to go down that line, like we've been inside for 2 years, what you really gonna say? And if you show restraint and you don't go for the lowest hanging fruit, which is what a roast session is all about, then I see that as great restraint. I can't say that right there was a tasteless joke and it was part of a roast. It was more befitting of a roast session because they've given us hours and hours and hours of great material to roast them with, right? So if I say something about Javier Bardem and Penelope Cruz, I really ain't got nothing to say about Lupita Nyong'o other than she was just sitting there looking at everything go by. You know what I'm saying? But Will Smith, you up for the whatever? Like, what am I going like Jada Pinkett there with you? What am I gonna say? You know what I'm saying? So I just see that as a light jab. You know what I'm saying? Because I gotta say something about you. And I really don't have anything nice that I can say about y'all. Because y'all really have behaved in the poorest fashion. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I just that's how I see it. That's the perspective I bring with. I'm gonna give you the last word, man. Go ahead and wrap.
I would just push back against what your comedian friend said because it's soft. It's really that take is really, really soft. Like that joke. I can see you saying it's in poor taste if you thought perhaps he was talking about her alopecia, and I can see you saying that was in poor taste. Okay, but the way the joke came off to me, and your opinion is just as valid as mine. Like, I'm not saying I'm the end all be all. We're not. Neither one of us is Chris Rock, so your opinion is just as valid as mine. But what I'm saying is, he was made the joke right. I wanted to see the whole thing. That footage isn't out there. Usually, when someone has a monologue on one of these shows, you can watch the whole monologue somewhere. You can't. Yeah. I've just been trying to find it for the past 2 days.
Now, this is my question. Was he the host or was he just a presenter for that document?
He was just a presenter
for the documentary award, right? That Questlove was.
Yes.
Yeah. So because I think Regina Hall. Regina Hall. From
Regina Hall, Amy Schumer, and Wanda Sykes,
and I think
they were the hosts. And I think earlier in the night, from what I've heard, is that Regina Hall did make mention of like entanglement.
Yes. Okay. So
there had been jabs. At them, earlier in the night.
Yes, Regina Hall made a joke that said she was now single, and she had a list, and she started calling off the list of niggas in the audience to come up on stage because they on the list of niggas that can get it, right? And I think Ryan Gosling was on there. It was the nigga that plays Spider-Man or something like that. Then she got to Javier Bardem and said, well, you married, so you not on the list. And then she mentioned somebody else, and they came up. And then she said, well, Will Smith, you married, but Jada said you can be on the list too, so come on up here.
Yeah. So is that a joke about them swinging?
Yes. Yes, because obviously.
Is that an open secret, or is that like?
I mean,
I used to hear that.
The worst kept secret. You know what I'm saying? I heard about him and Dwayne Martin and all that. So this is, you know what I'm saying? That's like Bow Wow and the limo driver. Those is the rumors that went around the world. You know what I'm saying? Pre-internet. So yeah, those are the worst kept secrets in the world.
Yeah, it really could have got worse. That G.I. Jane joke, like, so the point I was trying to make, and I'll wrap it up pretty quick because we all got to go. We all got lives to live. The man was riffing. So if he was out there to present something, all that material was coming off the top of his head.
Yeah.
And he made the joke about how the guy couldn't win, even if he, you know what I'm saying? If she loses, he can't win. Because the wife and the husband were both nominated. And that was a good joke. Everybody laughed. And then he said, you hoping Will Smith win. Then he saw Will Smith. And then he was thinking for a moment. He's like, hey, Jada, I like such and such. It was just a quick joke. You know what I'm saying? Like it was like I'm on a roll here. I'm doing well. How do I get out of this? Let me try to say one more thing. That one might not have landed as good. All right, I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna get out. And then before he could get out, Will Smith was walking up there slapping him. So I would just, it wasn't in poor taste to me because I don't think he knew that alopecia was going on. I don't really think alopecia is something, whatever. If she's offended by it, she's offended by it. If that's a sensitive subject for her, that's a sensitive subject for her. But there is the reasonable doubt that he didn't know, and that he just saw what was in front of him and made a joke about what was in front of him. Was it the best joke? No. I haven't laughed at a G.I. Jane joke since 1987. When I was born. Yeah. It came out 10 years later. That's how long it's been. And but the funny thing about it is I made a G.I. Jane joke just the other day about a woman that had a short haircut. Well, she didn't even have a short haircut. She was just in the army. And I said, fucking G.I. Jane over here. You know what I'm saying? It's just something to say. It's literally just a part of
something part of the lexicon, yeah.
It's just part of the lexicon.
Yeah.
And it like you have to control yourself. Like you have to control yourself. If people's words make you that upset, then that's on you. It's not on their words at that point. You gotta control yourself. You got to.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, y'all, we brought up some interesting points tonight. We said our piece. We spoke our truths, and may they forever be recorded as written testament.
So it has been written, so it shall come to pass.
You know what I mean? And shout out to Popeye the Sailor Man, who long before this was swimming with bald-headed women. You know what I mean? He's on.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you ain't gonna do that to olive oil. You ain't gonna do that.
Listen,
That's where you
olive
draw
oil
the line, huh?
Listen,
You draw
man.
the line in olive oil.
Nah.
Listen,
you
man.
gonna make me have to slap the shit out you, Sean.
Years ago, man. Years ago, in the grade school, man. He was Popeye the Sailor Man. He lived in a garbage can. You know what I mean? He's known to go swimming with bald-headed women. He's Popeye the Sailor Man. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, y'all slandering Popeye in Detroit, man. Listen.
Wait, that wasn't worldwide. Y'all ain't had that?
Nah, I never heard that shit.
Oh, okay, all right, man. All right, well, y'all went with it, my nigga. I forgive you, my nigga, you Pensacolians. But in closing, this is your boy Heartbreak. You know what I'm saying? And the Marita, once again, tell them where they can find you at.
Yes, you can always find me on Instagram at IM_Marita. You can see me if you're in Atlanta next Saturday at Actors Express in the show Intimate Apparel. And, keep a watch out on your TVs. You'll see me pretty soon on a station that I cannot mention.
Oh, that's NDA?
On a show I cannot mention.
Oh, okay. Wow. NDA. I didn't know I was privy to the mad science.
Don't tell me.
But
I'm gonna tell everybody.
But you'll see me.
No damn sure don't tell Sean. That nigga be
I already put it on my Christmas cards, man. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Yeah, it's out there. You know what I mean? It's on MySpace. You understand what I'm saying?
That nigga don't know how to live unless it's vicarious. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
Exactly.
Okay.
My favorite place is to be tightly gripped onto somebody's coattails. Believe that. Believe that. You know what I mean? Man, take us on home, brother. Hit him with the phrase that pays.
Listen, people, this world needs peace. All right? There's war going on in the streets, and there's war in the Middle East. All right? There's war in the Ukraine. There's war on the Oscar stage. Oh, yeah. But at the end of the day, when you close your eyes at night and you thank God for the life you've lived and you wish to continue living it, please wake me up in the morning and keep me safe in my sleep. You can know to yourself. PODCRACK out.
PODCRACK out.
Look at Marita. She's probably like, listen to these fucking amateurs.
They didn't even know how to exit stage left on time.
PODCRACK, right? Real guys talking that real shit.
New episodes weekly. Rate, comment, and subscribe.